Good morning, guys. Got a project that I'm going to be working on today that I wanted to share with you guys. I got a couple of spare steering column covers for an 05 STI. This one I had a gauge mounted to at one point and a little LED. This one's pretty much brand new. Came from my buddy Spencer at 541 Motorsports. He dismantles a lot of Subarus and sells parts off of them, so that's pretty cool. He also sent me this, which is for the Baja, because I have a bunch of I have a couple of heater switches that go here, and the one that I have right now is going to have some buttons that I no longer need, and the best way I figured to cover them up was to get a new piece and just start over. So got that's going in, and then this is the whole process here. So what I'm thinking is taking this autometer gauge pod and somehow mounting it to one of the steering column covers so it doesn't block the gauges in the Baja too much. And this is the ECB1. You can see here it does ethanol content analyzing, fuel temperature boost, and wideband all in one gauge. And so I'm going to be replacing, let's see if I can show you my other setup here. Basically combining a bunch of gauges. So I've got a depot boost gauge and an Innovate LC1. Still works. It has a brand new oxygen sensor that I put in last week, but I just had the opportunity to upgrade to the ECB1 for a decent price. So yeah, this ATI pod will come off and I'll create my own mount on the steering column. I'll either mount it there or on the pillar here. So let's get started. I gotta remove the old setup and start figuring out where I'm gonna put all the new components. Oh, and this is what I was talking about with the buttons. So I've got two seat heater switches, and then the LC1 has a calibration button and a diagnostic LED on it. So, all right. You guys want to see what nightmares are made out of? This right here is nightmare. I'm just putting one gauge in, but I'm actually this is kind of dual purpose. I'm going through and I'm cleaning up some of my wiring. There were some extra wires in here that I didn't need, so I'm cleaning that up. But anyways, making some progress. It'll take me better part of the day to fix this, but it's good that I'm cleaning it up. Alright, moving right along here. I got the main wires pulled through the firewall here. Show you that. So the wideband oxygen sensors here. I got the boost sensor right here. It's already connected. Flex fuel sensors right here. Cool thing is I can just tap into the return line right here to hook the analyzer sensor up for that. So moving right along. All right. This is as far as I have gotten. I've gotten the gauge cluster in. It's taken forever. I relocated my remote start switch and my valet switch. And so, next thing I gotta do is get the seat heater switches back in the center console. I glued in the DCCD switches. I gotta get those put back in, and then I gotta wire up this mayhem here. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is getting this set up, and then I gotta cut in the gauge pod. Gotta figure out where to mount that. So it's going, but it's just going slow. All right. So I got everything hooked up except for the O2 sensor plugged into the actual gauge. But let's test. Let's turn this on. I got all the wires hooked up. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that's pretty. I guess I am going to put everything back together. O2E2 means that the wideband isn't plugged in. But I'll do that here once I get everything put back together. I just want to test it, make sure it worked. Alright, let's put all this crap back together. It's a huge mess of stuff. Alright, all the parts are gone. Got them all installed. It's time to do a calibration. All of the interior is back together. I still have to tighten this up. It's still loose. I'll do that here. And then it's time to do the sensor calibration. So we'll do that. Alright. So I've had this on for 30 seconds, which is what you're supposed to do. So we'll turn it off. I'll go hook up the oxygen sensor. And then we'll calibrate it to the free air. Okay, I got the oxygen sensor hooked up. Let's calibrate it. Should take about a minute to a minute and a half to calibrate it. You can see right here it's gone through the heater sequence. And then it'll go through the sensor sequence. And then it'll be done. I'll come back when I'm done with that. Okay, so I just finished calibrating the gauge and the wideband oxygen sensor. Let's fire it up for the first time and see how it does. Of 1. I'll have to go into the settings and change it over to AFR, but it's working like it's supposed to. Alright, well, I'll catch you guys next time. See you later. Bye bye. Just wanted to show you guys I went through and I changed it back to AFR. You can actually cycle through these screens, but it shows AFR percentage of ethanol, vacuum and boost, and then the fuel temperature, which is pretty cool. Also, if you look at ROM radar here, you can see wideband at the bottom there. So this gauge does actually connect to ROM radar, and it works just fine. I didn't have to change any of the parameters in ROM radar. All I did is hooked up the serial cable to the keyspan USB to serial adapter, and it works just like the other one did, the LC1. So, I mean, can't ask for a better deal than that, but yeah. And you can go through and configure all these menus, like single screen is boost, dual screen is AFR and boost, and quad screen is everything. This is a pretty cool little gauge. There's a warning light on it. You can configure warning lights for all kinds of different stuff, like peak boost, low boost, low ethanol content, whatever the case may be. Anyhow, figured I'd show that to you guys. Alright, see you next time. Bye bye.